I would just like to take a moment to apologize to Golden State Warrior fans. Look, I'm not a Golden State Warrior hater, even though I have every right to be after Stephen Curry did this to my New Orleans Pelicans.
Curry lets Holiday go by, and Steph Curry hits a three. And Curry will let it go for three, comes up short, offensive rebound, Curry again, and Curry!
And then Stephen Curry also broke this record against my New Orleans Pelicans.
There it is. Everyone's aware of it.
No man has made 13 threes in the game until tonight.
And then, of course, Stephen Curry and the Golden State Warriors ruined one of our best playoff runs in the past decade. As a matter of fact, it was really one of our only playoff runs of this past decade, but hey. Anyways, I'm not a Golden State Warriors hater. I actually have a lot of love for Golden State. I had this team finishing as the 3 seed coming into this season. It's safe to say that so far the Golden State Warriors have absolutely smashed all expectations. And when you look at how good and how deep this team is, it's really easy to understand why they have been so good. Last year, Jordan Poole averaged 12 points per game. This season, my guy Jordan Poole is up to 18.1 points per game. And he's scoring these 18.1 points per game on 44.9% from the field, almost 45%. The most impressive thing to me about Jordan Poole's progression is that this guy is only 22 years old. He still has a long ways to go. You look at guys like Otto Porter Jr., Bielitsa, Gary Payton II, Andrew Wiggins, and you just have to be amazed at how good that this Golden State Warriors team is all around. I'm not just talking about the roster, I'm talking about how impressive this franchise is. Their front office is legit. A lot of people viewed Andrew Wiggins as not necessarily done when he was with the Minnesota Timberwolves, but a lot of people viewed Andrew Wiggins as I'm going to hate to say this term, but I'm going to say it. A lot of people viewed Andrew Wiggins as a career loser. This season, Wiggins is averaging 19 points per game. He's grabbing 5 boards, and he's averaging these 19 on 49.7% from the field, almost 50%. And check this out, he's also shooting what's just under a career high from 3 at 37.5%. Now, I would love to go in depth about Kuminga and Moody and more additions to this Warriors roster, but all of that is going to have to wait. And Warriors fans, if you want a more in-depth video, then I definitely got you guys. Just drop a comment down in the comments below letting me know that that's what you guys want. Right now, we have to talk about the return of Klay Thompson and James Wiseman. Look, I know I'm being a little dramatic, but it's just so scary to think that this already elite team is internally going to get better without making any major roster transactions or moves. Guys are just going to get healthier. November 23rd, Klay Thompson discussed the Warriors' shot at a title and his possible return.
Oh yeah, 15-2. That's a great indicator of, and our defense, I think is top 3 in the league, as well as our offense. And I'm not even out there yet. Think about that. Really think about that. I'm more motivated than ever as well, and I want a championship so bad.
You can't tell me that this guy is not incredibly excited to return to playing the game of basketball at a high level. You know what? Right now, I just gotta say this. One of the craziest parts about this whole video to me is that I'm just talking so glowingly about the Warriors, and I haven't even really started to deep dive Steph Curry. We all know how good Stephen Curry is, so I guess that goes without saying, and we know that he's a franchise elevator. He definitely makes everybody around him better. Speaking of, I'll probably bring you guys a Curry video soon, Kuminga, all that stuff, because, I mean, there's just so much to talk about surrounding this team. The Warriors are an elite offense, they're an elite defense, and then you add Klay Thompson to that, and it's just like, it's basically unfair. November 23rd, it was reported that Klay Thompson had been limited to 4-minute quarters at recent practices, but he was scaling that up to 5, 6, and 7-minute stints over the coming weeks. Quote, "Early when he's scrimmaging, he's knocking down shots," said Steve Kerr. When asked about how Klay looked slowly as they ramp up his workload, Kerr said this: "You can see the fatigue setting in much earlier than he would in a month, 2 months." Thompson added that the plan is to get to scrimmaging through 12-minute quarters within a month, and once that marker is clear, then we'll know that he's on the cusp of his return. November 28th, Shams would tweet, "Another step in Klay Thompson's return process. The Golden State Warriors assigned Thompson to G League Santa Cruz for increased practice reps." Now, I'll let you guys judge for yourself, but I think it's safe to say that Klay's G League practice debut went incredibly well. And beyond that, there is going to be a clip that I show you guys later that includes Klay Thompson hitting a game winner during a scrimmage. While there's been a ton of concern about how Klay Thompson will look upon returning, I absolutely love the prospects of what he brings to the table. You see, Klay has never really had a game that was necessarily reliant on athleticism. We know Klay as one of the best shooters in NBA history, and while playing defense, athleticism does help, and being twitchy and all that does help, and I'm not going to argue against that. Klay Thompson has always had spectacular IQ and spectacular length. Beyond that, the Golden State Warriors are such a good defensive team that if Klay Thompson struggled in any way, shape, or form defensively during his return, they could simply hide him on defense. But of course, I don't think Klay is going to be somebody that needs to be hit on defense. It's just that the Warriors are such a good team defense that having IQ in their system will take you a very long way, even if you do not have the proper physical stature or athleticism to compete on the defensive side of the basketball. We always talk about Klay Thompson shooting, and look, don't get me wrong, the shot is looking absolutely filthy. But somewhere along the lines, Klay Thompson became a very underrated defender. Klay is 6'7", and throughout his career, he has been phenomenal on the defensive side of the basketball. Now, before I play you guys the game winner, I just want to show you guys this awesome clip from Steph.
Super proud of the way he's just approached, this 2-year window, because it's nobody will have, unless he wants to write a book and tell, every step of the way, nobody will understand what he's been through away from the game so long, and it shows how much this game matters to him.
Klay knows it, I'm sure, but we're excited for his return. Everybody's excited for his return, and we're all going to be rooting for him, especially if he's doing things like this. That is a 3-pointer game winner in a scrimmage. I'm not saying Klay Thompson is back, but hey. Now, while Klay was cleared for contact more than a week ago, Wiseman still has not been cleared for full contact. But Steve Kerr remains optimistic that both players will help his team in the near future. Klay will be scrimmaging and James will be continuing to work, Kerr said before Sunday's game against the Clippers. I don't think Wiseman is scrimmaging yet, but Klay, he's doing 5-on-5. Klay has not played a game of basketball since tearing his ACL during Game 6 of the 2019 NBA Finals, and his Achilles back in November of 2020. Now, while I've never torn my ACL, you guys know that recently I've torn my Achilles, and let me tell you that rehab is no joke. It honestly sucks. I actually think that I'm going to have to stop rehabbing shortly just so I can let my Achilles heal up a little more because it's incredibly sore. It's hard to even imagine what Klay had to go through to get to where he is right now. He had injuries compounded. That's no joke. To quote Klay, I hate to use the phrase can't wait because I love to be present in my life, but I cannot wait. I really, really enjoy being a Warrior. Clicking the video on the screen right now is a great way to support my channel. I'm Get Like Coop, bringing you guys the scoop until our next upload.